All right, here is Mr. N going over the Precalculus Chapter 3 test taken on December 12th, 2019, multiple choice, right? Square root of 343 is a power of 7. So I have the square root of 343. And I'm thinking about some factors here. Let's start over that. That was messy. So I have 343, and I have an index of 2. And if I break down 343, I get 49 times 7. Because there's my power of 7, and then I got 3 of these. Because 49 is 7 times 7. So what you get here is you have 3 7s. And that 3 stays there. That 3 goes in the numerator and the index is 2. So that would be your choice D as your answer. Question number 2. Solve 2,922 equals 5 to the x power. Now if I put that in my calculator, 5 to the x power, let's see what my table looks like. I'm trying to get to a number close to 2,092. So I know my answer is going to be between 4 and 5, closer to 5, closer to 3,125. So 2,922. I know my answer is between 4 and 5. Here I have exponential form, and then I can turn this into log form. My base here becomes the base of my log, and I'm going to switch these. So now I have x equals log base 5 of 2092. So now I can do log, I can change the base. The second part becomes your numerator, and the base becomes your denominator. So I can put that in my calculator. So I'm using the change of base formula here. That was the number we were talking about, closer. And this would be choice D as your answer. Question number 3. Use the change of base formula and calculator to evaluate the logarithm. Round your answer to 3 decimal places. So again, this becomes my numerator. And this becomes my denominator. Now, remember there's no base here, so that just means you're in common log. Which basically means you could just type it in. Negative 0.6483. And then this would be choice A. Go to the backside. Backside, you inherited a house that was purchased for $755,000 in 2006. The value of the house decreased by an approximate 2.5% per year. So you can use population or exponential. Your A is your initial value, what your starting point. Your B value is essentially 1 minus the 0.025. So to get this in percent into a decimal, you're dividing it by 100. And dividing by 100 allows you to move that decimal place twice. And you get 0.025. So 2.5% is the same thing as decimal 0.025. And then I'm subtracting it from 1, so I get 0.975 as my rate. And then I have, it doesn't matter what year, how many years after 2006. So there's my equation. I don't know, value is a function of time. It says use T. What is the approximate value of the land in the year 2023? So I subtract that from 2006, I get time equals 17. So I can just put in 17. There's my calculator ready equation. Let's put that in. And I might as well just put it into the function here because I'm going to have to do that anyways. And I can just put in, go up to 17. 400. 90,937 is our answer. When will the house be worth 250,000? So, and since you're getting confused with how to change your window before I graph it, so what's helpful is you just come over here and make a quick sketch of your graph. I know my graph. You're supporting your graph in that question. That one should be 4D. So this is the Y values represent the value of the house. Value of house. And that's measured in hundreds of thousands. So then you can say 100,000, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just counting by ones here. And then my X values, or your, this can also be your V's, right, value. And this can be your T, time, measured in years, time, measured in years. And we said it would take 17 years, so I want to be careful here how I draw the scale. I do want to know my answer. So it dropped approximately $300,000 in 17 years. I'm going to guess another 17 years. So let's just say 40 years. Let's see what happens. So this here is my X minimum, maybe 0. X max is 40, and then maybe you're counting by, I don't know, 5s. 5, 10, 20, 30. This would be the 40. And then my Y max. Now, if you're going to use, I guess if you don't have to use the scale, then you're basically saying that's 800,000. So let's put that in our window. X minimum is going to be like -1 or 0. And the reason we call it -1 is you just want to show a little bit of it. X max, let's go to 50. And we said we count by tens. Y minimum, again, you want to do a little bit below. My max, you can put 800,000. It's a little bit more than the initial price. Y scale, we said we were going to count by hundreds of thousands. And then let's graph it. So we have graph, and then we're just basically looking for its intersection. So it says blue, so you already have one, so press enter, it goes down to the red, and then you get guess, that's where you want to look at the intersection. There's my guess. And there it is. I said around 40 years, 43.5. So 250,000 equals 755,000, decrease of 2.5%, and then in 43.65 years. 43.65. So 43.65 years from 2006. In the year 2050, the house will be worth less than 250,000. That's a 2. I do want to show you guys one other way of doing this problem algebraically. And then we are solving for time. You can divide both sides by this amount. And you're going to get a decimal. Lots of decimals is better. And then what you can do here, we haven't done this before, is you can either put log or natural log in front. So you're applying the natural log to both sides, so I'm going to get that. And remember what happens in natural logs, the power becomes coefficient. So you have t times ln of 0.975 and all of this over here. And this is t times, right? So then if you just divide both sides by the natural log of 0.975, you'll cancel that, and then you have a calculator-ready equation right there. So natural log of 0.331126 divided by the natural log of 0.975, and I assume that to be around 43.65. There it is. So second way of, we did it by graph and intersection, or you can do this problem using natural logs. All right, question number 5. Determine a formula for an exponential function that passes through the points 0, 2, and 3, 1. Hopefully you noticed that 0, 2 was a y-intercept. And essentially that's your starting point. So your a value is actually 2. Now, how do you figure that out algebraically? You put in x equals 0, y equals 2. And the common mistake here, students didn't know what b to the 0 power. Remember your exponents, b to the 0 power is 1. 1 times a is just a equals 2. If you got there, I give you guys 3 points. On the second equation, you do the same thing. Exponential y equals a b to the x power. X is 3, y is 1. You put in a equals 2 here. And you want to solve for b, so you divide it by 2. And then you take the cube root of b to the third power, right? These will cancel, and you're left with the cube root. That should be a 3 right there. 3 identical numbers that multiply to be 0.5. Use your calculator. That's under math on your calculator. And then b equals 0.739. Therefore, your equation a is 2, and then your b value is 0.739. If you got to 0.739, 9, and I give you 3.5 points if you didn't get the equation. Question 5b, complete the table of values. So I just use 0, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you already have above, if you just graph these two, 0, 2, and 3, 1, I give you guys 1.5 points. And then if you got, not those, I rounded wrong, so these numbers right here, 2, 1.5874, 1.2599, 1, and 0.7793. 7, 9. And then if you graphed it, I used ones over here, and then each box is 0.25. If you made it exponential, I give you 1.5 points. If you just graphed the order pairs, 0, 2, and then 3, 1, or if it looks linear, then I give you 1 point. And that's how you do the rest of your problems.
Math.
Say it again.
Our math.